Hey everyone, and welcome to a super fast explainer on Chapter 4, designed to get you completely ready for your HSC ICT board exams. We're going to cover the absolute must-knows of web design and HTML. So, let's just dive right in.
Okay, so think about it. You use websites all day, every day. But have you ever stopped to wonder how they go from just an idea to the thing you're scrolling through on your screen? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to peel back those layers and look at everything from the design to the code that actually makes it all work.
First things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page with the absolute basics. What exactly is a website? And more importantly, what are the two main types you're going to need to know about?
The easiest way to think about this is like a digital book. The entire website is the book, and it has one main title. That's its domain name, like facebook.com. And inside that book, you have all the individual pages, which are just called web pages. They're all linked together to create the whole experience. Simple, right?
Okay, this is super important for your exams. The difference between static and dynamic. A static website is basically pre-built. The content is fixed, it doesn't change, so it loads incredibly fast. A dynamic website, on the other hand, is interactive. It literally builds the page on the fly, pulling information from a database. This is what allows for things like logging into your account or leaving a comment.
All right, so just like a house needs a blueprint, every good website needs a structure. Let's do a quick look at the 4 main ways that web pages can be organized and linked together.
First up, we've got the linear structure, and it's pretty much the simplest one. Think of it like turning the pages of a book or filling out an online application. You have to go step by step using next and previous buttons. There's no skipping ahead to the last page. Now this one, the tree or hierarchical structure. You see this everywhere. It's the most common type. It all starts from a single home page, and then it just branches out into different sections and subpages, kind of like a family tree.
Then there's the network structure. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. A web where basically every page is linked to almost every other page. This lets you jump around freely between related topics, creating a really connected feel.
And here's the crucial part. In the real world, websites almost never stick to just one structure. They mix and match. So you might have a big site with a main tree structure, but when you go to buy something, that checkout process, bam, that's a linear structure right there. That combination is what we call a hybrid structure.
Okay, great. So you've coded this amazing website on your own computer. But now what? How do you actually get it online so the whole world can see it? Let's break down the steps.
It really breaks down into 4 clear steps. Step 1, you build the thing. Step 2, you have to register a unique address for it. That's your domain name. Step 3, you need a place to put it, so you rent space on a web server. We call that hosting. And finally, step 4, you tell search engines like Google that your site exists so that people can actually find you.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the heart of it all, the fundamental building block for every single web page you have ever visited in your entire life, HTML.
Now, here's a key fact you absolutely have to remember for your exam. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's a markup language, not a programming language. Why is that? Well, it's because it describes the structure of the content on a page, but it doesn't do any logic or calculations.
Every single HTML page on the planet follows this basic skeleton. It starts with an HTML tag that wraps everything. Inside that, you've got a head, which holds background info and the title you see in the browser tab. And then you've got the body, which holds all the stuff you can actually see on the page.
This is a golden rule of HTML. To create an element, like a paragraph, you start with an opening tag. That's P. Then you put your text or content inside, and you have to end it with a closing tag, which is /P. See that /? That's what makes it a closing tag.
But, rules are made to be broken, right? Well, kinda. There are a few exceptions called empty tags. These guys are self-contained, so they don't need a closing tag. The big ones you have to know are BR for a simple line break, HR for a horizontal line across the page, and IMG for putting an image in.
Okay, lightning round. Let's blast through the most essential tags you absolutely positively need to know for your multiple choice questions. So pay close attention here.
Headings are super easy to remember. H1 is for your main, most important heading on the page. It's the biggest. And as the number goes up all the way to H6, the heading just gets smaller and less important.
Need to make some text pop? To make it bold, you can use either the B tag or the strong tag. For italics, you can use I or EM. Now, they look the same, but there's a small difference. Strong and EM also tells search engines that the text is important, not just styled differently.
Okay, get ready because this one is a classic exam question. To create a superscript like the 2 and x squared, you just wrap that 2 inside the soup tag. Just remember soup for super, above.
And just like that, you see the code in action. That simple tag positions the 2 perfectly up top, creating that mathematical notation right there on the web page. And you guessed it, for the opposite, a subscript, like the 2 in H2O. You use the sub tag. Again, super easy to remember. Sub for subscript or below.
And there you have it. That little subtag drops the number down, giving you that perfect chemical formula just like you'd see in a textbook. This is definitely a common one to see on exams.
So this all brings us to a really important takeaway. While we've learned about all these different structures, in the real world, the hybrid structure is actually the most common. Developers almost always mix and match them to build the powerful, complex websites we use every single day.
And that's a wrap on our crash course on web design and HTML fundamentals. Just keep these core ideas fresh in your mind. Static versus dynamic, the 4 structures, the publishing steps, and of course, those key HTML tags. You do that, and you'll be all set. Good luck with your exams.